of his purpose for your life that is not always pleasant. And when we're self-centered, we let the conflicts of a Saul victimize us instead of empower us. Woo, you didn't hear what I just said. We let the afflictions of a Saul victimize us instead of empower us. God's got to have a generation of people that are not running around with their feelings hurt because everything didn't work out the way they wanted it to work out. God's trying to raise up an army in this hour that don't run home every time somebody hurts their feelings. That every time something happens and they blame God for it. Well, God, I've served you. I paid tithe. I went to church. I did this. I did that. And you let this happen to me. You got to learn how to trust God when circumstances happen to you that you don't understand. There's got to be an intimacy with God in the body of Christ that is empowering us to trust him even when we don't understand him. Wow, because if you don't trust him when you don't understand him, then you'll become a victim when you get persecuted and go through conflict and circumstances that are out of your control that you don't understand. Boy, I need to preach in here today. See, this is what separates a generation of those that know about God from those that actually know God. I'm going to say that again. This is what separates a generation of people that know about God from a generation of people that actually know God. Because, see, if all you do is know about God, that means you know what he has the potential to do. You know what he has the power to do, but you don't understand him, nor do you actually trust him, because when something happens that you feel he had the power to stop, you blame him. Uh-oh. There's a lot of people holding God responsible right now for a lot of things, from tragedies to death to sicknesses to pandemics, that the truth is you're blaming God because you know about him, but you don't really know him. I'm going to say it again. You know about him, but you don't know him. Because when you know the character of who God is, you don't blame him for stuff that is outside of his character. Oh, I really wish I had time to count there for just a minute. So God's trying to get a generation that is not self-centered, but is God-centered. And the only way to become God-centered is to actually know him. See, God's got to have some people that move from the outer court to the inner court. That we're not building our ministries based upon faith conferences, and I'm not against those. We're not building our ministry based upon altar experiences. We're building our ministries in the secret places of the Most High God. People that know how to dwell with God. That I didn't come out of the green room with the sin of a famous preacher. I'm coming out of the prayer closet with the sin of Jesus on my life. So instead of learning how to do ministry, I'm learning who he is. I'm beginning to understand his character, because people in the Bible that finished well, even though they had mistakes in their life, were not people that wanted to ask God how to do ministry, but they were people that said, God, show me your ways. I don't want to know about you. I want to know you. So that when tragedies come, calamities happen, opposition happens, persecution happens, I'm not dismayed and I'm not thrown to the curb becoming a victim. I am about my Father's business regardless of the circumstances going on in my life. God needs people that don't have to take a sabbatical at the first sign of persecution and opposition. Well, I know this hurts feelings tonight. But what keeps us out of that is trusting God. Job trusted him and said, God, though you slay me, I will trust you. Where is a generation that said, God, I may not understand my situation. I may not understand where you're leading me. I may not understand what's going on in my life, but I'm not going to back down from the assignment. I'm not going to back off from my worship. I'm not going to back off from the word. I'm not going to back off from my prayer life. God, I'm coming after you harder than I've ever came after you before. That when Saul is breathing down my neck, I'm going to be in the secret place finding the heart of my Father.